Which articulating paper should you use for occlusal adjustments? Is your choice dependent on the economy? Is your choice dependent on manufacturer's instructions? Or is it based on sound knowledge? If you want to have sound knowledge and want to select and adjust occlusion objectively, then this is the video for you. The choice of articulating paper should be based on the dynamics of teeth movement. When teeth oppose each other, an interference is felt at 20 microns. When a tooth opposes an implant prosthesis, then an interference can be perceived at 48 microns. When an implant opposes an implant, the occlusion awareness goes down to 64 microns. When a tooth opposes an implant overdenture, the awareness of interference is at 108 microns. So, a crown has to be 20 microns high on a natural tooth for the patient to realize that it is high. When there is an implant prosthesis opposing a natural tooth, an interference of 48 microns will be perceived by the patient as high. When two implants oppose each other, the patient will feel that the crowns are high only when they are at least 64 microns apart. And when a natural tooth opposes an implant overdenture, it may be 108 microns high as compared to the adjacent dentition for the patient to realize that it is actually not in occlusion. An occlusal interference of greater than 20 microns has the potential to change the mandibular closure pattern. In simple words, if there is an occlusal premature contact of 20 micron between natural teeth or between a natural teeth and a crown on a natural teeth, then the mandibular closure pattern changes in order to protect the offending tooth from injury. As a result, the patient starts chewing in a pattern different from his normal chewing pattern. The maximum intercuspation of the patient is changed due to an interference of 20 microns. But why is it important? Because the new closure pattern and the new maximum intercuspation takes the mandible to an eccentric position of closure, which is not habitual for the patient. It has the potential to treat a specific group of teeth lying in the opposing arch of this patient. It has the potential to activate muscle hyperactivity and lead to occlusal problems, masticatory muscle disorders, and temporomandibular joint disorders. So I hope you have understood that it is absolutely important to detect and correct occlusal interference of 20 microns or more. Guess what? For an implant crown, the occlusal awareness in quantity as well as quality is even lower. As a result, the detection of 20 microns of interference is not possible on an implant. What is the significance of this? This means that an occlusal interference will go unnoticed on an implant crown. It will produce no protective mechanisms to kick in, and hence the implant crown will continue to get overloaded as the patient closes the jaw and carries out all the excursions. All of us know that the implant is not even supposed to take the initial occlusal contact load. Forget about the occlusal interference presence over it. Due to all these reasons, it is even more important to protect the implant crown from occlusal interference and overloading, since it is not going to complain till it's too late. So how do you adjust occlusion objectively over implant crowns and over crowns over natural teeth, or over natural teeth for that matter? Before even understanding which occlusal paper to choose, let us first understand what actually do contact points mean. Now suppose you use an 8 micron articulating paper to check occlusion on a natural tooth crown, and you don't get any contacts on the teeth adjacent to the crown over your natural tooth. What does that mean? It means that the adjacent teeth are at least 8 micron or more apart, and your crown has an occlusal interference of at least 8 microns. Would this 8 micron of prematurity initiate protective mechanism? Would this deflect the jaw closure pattern? Would this change the patient's maximum intercuspation? Would this trigger any of the muscle or a joint disorder? Most probably, no. Would patient be aware about this contact? Most probably, yes. So what do? You go ahead and reduce the occlusal contact prematurity on the crown till you have contact points on the adjacent teeth too. Attaining contact with an 8 micron paper on adjacent teeth as well as the natural crown prosthesis means that all these three crowns, natural or prosthetic crown, are meeting together with the opposing arch almost at the same time, which is what we want. Now suppose you use a 40 micron paper or a thicker paper to check your occlusal contacts. If you do not attain occlusal contact points on teeth adjacent to your natural teeth crown, what does that mean? It means that the adjacent teeth are 40 microns or more apart on a 40 micron paper, 80 microns or more apart on an 80 micron paper, 100 microns or more apart on a 100 micron paper. Does this have the potential to change the closure pattern of the jaw? Does this have the potential to change the maximum intercuspation of the patient? Does this have the potential to initiate muscle and later temporomandibular joint disorders? Yes, of course. Does this have the potential to chip off your ceramic over your prosthetic restorations? Yes. Does it have the potential to injure the offending tooth? Absolutely yes. What would you do then? Obviously, you would adjust the offending prosthetic crown so that now you obtain contact points on teeth adjacent to your crown too. Now suppose you attain contact points on your adjacent teeth with 40 micron paper simultaneously with your prosthetic crown. Does that mean that they meet together simultaneously? Yes, I doubt so. As you start adjusting the prosthetic crown, the adjacent teeth will start coming in contact as soon as the distance between them becomes lesser than 40 microns with a 40 micron paper. The distance between the adjacent teeth may be well above 20 microns but less than 40 microns and still show you occlusal contacts on the adjacent teeth. You may feel that you have removed the occlusal interference, but the prosthetic crown may still be higher than 20 microns, triggering all the protective mechanisms, having the potential to produce all the changes that we have discussed about. I hope you can understand that if the 40 micron paper is doing this disguise, the thicker the paper, the greater the disguise. So you should always select a marking paper that is less than or equal to 20 microns to do your occlusal adjustments objectively.